off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News, CNBC News, NBC Sports Radio Station, AM 1050, FM 106.5, home to the Asian Oprah, and number one talk in the IE. Thank you in this time slot, and I am grateful and happy that you're here. Today is Monday, Mental Health Matters Mondays, and let's start the way we always do here at the balancing out of bad news with good news. I don't talk about the headlines. I don't talk about politics, religion. Why? Because I want to start every day off on the most positive foot instead of the negative. If it bleeds, it leads. And that's why we do that. And breakfast consists of taking a bite of my gratitude sandwich. If you're tuning in right now and you can't see me, that's because you're not on my YouTube TV channel, which is live every weekday morning. If you're free subscribe and give me the finger, this one, not the other one, this is a thumbs up. You will be able to watch and listen. If you are driving right now and listening on the KCAA side, please do not chat with me because I want you to focus on the road. But when you do get someplace, go to my show central and you'll be able to interact with me every weekday morning. And then it also goes to iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher. No more Stitcher. iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, Tiki Live, Rumble, Podchaser, and Spreaker. So I am just going to take a breath right now, in through the nose and release through the mouth. The stories and the drama. Instead, we're going to start this day. I don't care how you woke up and how frazzled you are right now. You can start your day over right now with me and just take that deep breath in. I am grateful for, this is the top of the bun of the gratitude sandwich, the fact that thanks to hashtag COVID silver lining, I'm able to broadcast out of my living room in Long Beach, California, on the beach. And it's much easier to do that than to sit in traffic for an hour. I think it's one of the best things that happen with COVID is the understanding and the realization we can't do everything without face-to-face, but we can do a lot more than we thought we could in an easier way. I am grateful that I have this amazing cup of coffee every single morning that is so tasty and so wonderful. I can be one with my coffee. I am grateful that even though I'm not on tour flying, I would have been in Hawaii this month. I am grateful that I still get to do fun things, and I will be this Saturday doing a book signing, a reading, first time in a jewelry store, J&L Jewelry in the traffic circle right next to Marshall's in Long Beach, California. So that's from 12 to 4, and the fabulous people at J&L are going to treat you with champagne as well as 25% off all jewelry. And also, I'll be giving audiobooks, $20 value with every signed book, which you all know this little puppy went #1 on Amazon and national bestseller. And best of all, it's helping a lot of people who are knowing that they're not as happy as they could be. So 8 ways to happiness from wherever you are. So if you're anywhere driving distance from Long Beach, California, I expect to see you on Saturday. I'll move my microphone. We'll do some shout outs and things like that. So that is, I'm grateful for. What else am I grateful for? I'm grateful for really good series that I get to watch with really good friends, which is kind of fun. We connect remotely, start the series at the same time, and then text each other with comments like, "Oh my goodness, that outfit on Gilded Age. Gilded, is it Gilded Age? It's Gilded something. I just call it Gilded. But man, if you want to see some beautiful outfits, I'm a fashionista, and we have a lot of fun doing that. So I'm grateful for my girlfriend Anne-Marie, who I get to do that with, and it's a lot of fun. I am grateful for my 2 beautiful inside and out daughters, Chloe May, Sarah Way. It's Chloe's birthday this Friday, the 13th, or Saturday. It's Saturday the 13th, but Friday the 13th, sometimes her birthday falls on. So since I'll be having guests the rest of the week, we'll do the birthday now. Happy birthday, dear best big girl in the whole wide world, Chloe May. Happy birthday to you. So proud of who you are, of what you have accomplished, of what you are still to be, and I love you with all of my heart. And there it is. And May, by the way, if those of you who thought I was Swedish, I'm actually Chinese. May is a Chinese word that means beautiful, which my beloved father, Dr. David Pei, who passed from lymphoma, but he got to name her before he passed with the middle name. All right. I am grateful, I am grateful that the planets did not crash into each other last night, and we have another beautiful day in the neighborhood to live, love, laugh, learn, create, delight in, innovate, and have fabulous relationships with each other on the planet as we move through and groove through this thing called life. And that's the top of the bun. What are you grateful for? I don't see anybody. I see eyeballs in the studio. You must be driving, which is fine. Don't put your gratitudes in the comment section. But whenever you watch this now or later, please do play along with me. It's a good life habit to start your day with gratitude. And then bottom of the bun. This is Dr. Wayne Dyer said the gratitude's 5 at the top of the day, and I'm an overachiever. So I say 8, and 8's a homophone for good fortune, and it's why you see a lot of 8s in the Chinese culture. So I do 8, and then the bottom of the bun, I do to model for you something to do before you go to bed tonight. So top of the bun, you are grateful for things that are outside of yourself. Bottom of the bun, you are grateful for things inside of yourself. So what do you like about yourself? And the reason why I ask people to do this, either in happiness coaching or any platform I'm on as a motivational speaker, even in stand-up, and also on this platform for the show, which, by the way, is every Monday I mark the consecutive week, and it is consecutive week number 697 that I have been doing this, but who's counting? And they said my show would not last over a year because I don't talk about the headlines. And 13 plus years later, I think we're at 13 and a half now, I'm still here. And I'm really grateful that there is an audience. I just pulled it up, but I didn't have time to look. Let's see if it comes up quickly. Yes, 4,027,845 impressions later on my YouTube TV channel. Yes, still here and still encouraging and cajoling people into 88% happiness. That's my mission. 88 million more happy people in the next 8 years. So the bottom of the bun is what do you like about yourself? You really can't have a happy life if you are your own worst enemy, if you're your own worst critic, if you're harder on yourself than anybody else. That is a surefire way to be unhappy. Because no matter what you do, no matter what you succeed, you're not going to be happy if you are hard on yourself, if you keep shitting yourself. I shouldn't have said this. I should have done that. So before you go to bed tonight, what I'd like you to do is, instead of thinking about those things, is to highlight what you do like about yourself. And I know your parents, well-meaning parents, sometimes more mean than well, said, don't toot your own horn, and who do you think you are? And certainly there's balance and humility, but we've created this situation where a lot of people are looking for love and likes in all the wrong places. If you're on social media, you measure your worth and your value by how many likes you have, literally. And that is, again, a not very solid way to live your life so that you're happy 88% of the time. So I want you to know what you're good at, what you like about yourself, what qualities do you have that you actually appreciate. And that, it's a discipline, as my big brother Michael Bernard Beckwith will say. It's something that you have to practice. So if you have trouble with this, keep practicing. I'm here every morning to help you do it. I also want you to think about the last time you got a compliment. That's a good place to start, even if you didn't believe it. If someone said to you, oh, you're so caring, right? And you don't think you're caring, well, you should see me when I'm, at home or wherever it is. Someone thinks you're caring. So at some level, you are caring. So embrace that and say, I am caring. And that's what I will say. I am caring. Not all the time, but at least 88% of the time, I am caring. Bringing you this for 697 consecutive weeks, even when I didn't feel like it, is based from care. I think I'm grateful. Oh, sorry. I appreciate that I am funny. I have been doing stand-up now for a couple of months shy of a year, and I'm getting great feedback from the community that I am actually funny, even though my husband, formerly known as Dick Bod, didn't think so. But I am owning my funny, and I appreciate that I am verbose, sometimes a little too verbose, but that's my job. And I appreciate that I don't follow the bonds or bondage of my culture that says Asian women should be quiet, should be homemakers. Lord knows, should be. I do cook well, though. Let's just, just in case any of the guys from my apps are listening. I know I had a match that I was actually excited about, and then to be funny, I said, whenever someone says I've always wanted to date an Asian woman, I will immediately respond with, I'm not cooking for you, I'm not cleaning for you, and the only way I'm going to walk on your back is with high heels on it. And it's been a joke, a running joke. And he was actually looking for someone a little more Asian, should I say, in the stereotypical way. So, yeah, I although the principle is still there, I should probably, not should, but it would be useful if I balanced it out by saying, that was a joke, and I actually am a really good cook. However, I do make a lot of reservations. However, it is a lot of fun to meet someone that you can cook with and balance my whole dating entree approach. I'll have to talk about that on Straight Talk on Friday. But one last thing that I like about myself is that I like my smile. I like, it feels good to smile. It it usually has the effect of making other people feel more at ease. And so I do like my smile, and I appreciate my smile. And yeah, especially when I'm on my own in the studio. All the guys at KCAA just have a running joke around. She doesn't need a guest. And I actually started Mental Health Matters Mondays so that I didn't have to have a guest. But it's also Monday, Monday, or rainy days and Mondays always get me up. Hashtag UP, hashtag unlimited possibilities. The real reason I started Mental Health Matters Mondays is because so many people now, thanks to my honorable moniker, Oprah, do attend and pay attention and nor have normalized the whole discussion around mental health. The awareness, the stigma is way not a stigma as much as it was maybe 10 years ago, certainly 20 years ago. Even China is talking about the importance of mental health, and that's something that, you know, when I was there in 2009 and I was brought in to talk about mental health, and disclaimer, I am not a PhD in clinical psychology. I'm a PhD in organizational psychology. So I'm not a licensed by choice clinical psychologist, but I am an organizational psychologist, which deals with the intersection of business and human dynamics. So power, politics, leadership, or lack thereof, stress at work, joy at work, meaning at work. So it does encompass mental health individually and as a culture in the corporation. But I do happiness coaching because I do know that it is of tantamount importance that you are in touch with what is it about you, what are your BS belief systems that keep you in the lower half of your emotional spectrum. So anger, sadness on steroids, depression, all of those lower emotions that keep you unhappy versus the peace, satisfaction, wonder, delight, exhilaration, excitement. Those emotions are so important to life. Happiness certainly is one of those. I use happiness as an umbrella for those above sea level emotions. And we now talk about it, right? Simone Biles did great things for the normalization of talking about that. The tennis player that I'm going to forget her name also did that really well. I mean, so many now professionals. Caleb, the swimmer, I love him probably the most because he is a guy and he won gold medals. And yet the next Olympics, he talked about the beatings he would get from himself. So it is important to look at mental health. However, a lot of people run straight to a numbing thing, whether it's a person, place, or a thing, to numb themselves so they don't have to feel that sadness or overwhelming sense of fear, anxiety, all of that. And numbing, whether it's by medication or it's by shopping or it's by gambling or it's by a relationship, whatever it is that you're using to not deal with your own mental health, is only masking or pushing down something that you got to deal with. And certainly there is room, of course, for medication. There's room for a psychologist or a psychiatrist. But, and it's my BS, my belief system, that there's a little space between recognizing that you're not in the best mental health and then rushing to something outside of yourself. So that little gap is why I started Mental Health Matters Mondays. There are things that you can do that you have more power than you think you do to help yourself get a little bit further in your own happiness without going to a program necessarily, or someone else, or a drug that has not side effects but main effects. And so when I hear that you not only have to take this drug, but if it doesn't work really well, you take this drug to make this drug work, and then they list all of those side effects that make my skin crawl, because the side effects are kind of worse than the actual feelings of sadness that you be going through, I get a little concerned. So that's why we do this series, and that's why we look at things that are naturally bringing you down, bringing you more unhappiness than happiness, and see if we can't come up with some solutions, or at least some things to try before we go to that next level of help. So this is Mental Health Matters Mondays, where you get to exercise your own ability through your most powerful tool, which is called choice. It's a ch word, not a C word, those afraid of commitment. It's a ch word, but it is honestly, because I focus on personal mastery as an important foundation for a happy life. It is one of the things that really we don't talk about, or we don't deal with, or we don't take responsibility for. And so you'll hear a little bit of tough love from me today, because I am your unpaid for. Although if you want to give some funds to my nonprofit, 8 Ways to Happiness, go to my website, drmarissa.life, or asianoprah.online. Then certainly I love money, because money helps the platform expand and this message expand. So I am grateful to all those who continue to come up and thank me for the work that I'm doing. And at the same time, if you have some funds you want to, I'm a good donation base to help this work continue, please do. But where was I? Okay, Mental Health Monday Matters. And today's topic says everything is awesome. Double D. Let's double D, not a bra size, but double D, desire and disappointment. Desire and disappointment. And the reason why I wanted to touch this topic, and I don't think I've ever done it before, is because I meet a lot of people in my coaching practice whose unhappiness comes from disappointment. They wanted to be whatever it is, fill in the blank. They wanted to be a mom and they can't have children. They wanted to be the rocket scientist and they couldn't pass the engineering course. They wanted to be a pro player or a pro musician and it's not coming. They want to be an actor and actress, is not coming. A lot of rejection. So that whole disappointment word, D, which is tied to your initial desire, another D, is the source of a lot of unhappiness. So that's why we're talking about it. Okay, okie dokie. All right, so I started first half always talking about the reality, putting the moose on the table. This is my Canadian version of talking about the elephant in the room. So there's my moose. We're going to put it on the table. Are you disappointed? What are you disappointed about in life? Do you have disappointments? Feel free to put them in the chat. I I will say I'll start out about my own life. I'm super disappointed that my body likes to make blood clots. Made the first one in 1996, and a piece broke off, went into my lungs, so I had a pulmonary embolism. I had one DVT, deep vein thrombosis, started behind my left knee, broke off, traveled everywhere, and I'm disappointed that it has done it again. And 2 days before I got on a plane to go on world tour, 6 months in different country, at a different country every month, they found two more clots, and one behind my knee, and one from the middle of my calf to the back of my knee, and the second one from the top of my knee to my groin. And I'm disappointed. I had plans. I had so many fun things. Africa, Canada. I did do Canada, but that was because my mom passed and for the funeral. But I had worked there. Shanghai, Taiwan, Ireland, Hawaii. So all of those gone. All of the work and talking and book signing and all of that gone. And I'm disappointed. Definitely disappointed. My desire was to go back on tour with the book and continue, happy 88 mission, 88 million more happy people in the next 8 years. And that did not happen. It is not happening. I've been grounded for a year, and I am disappointed. What are you disappointed about? Oh, you thought this relationship was going to work. I thought this date was going to happen on my way to San Diego, and I got a message. Met someone last night. There was a spark, and so canceled the date. Disappointed. He was a lawyer. I'm very attracted to professional, only because I want to do something different than the divorce. Let's just put it that way. I'm disappointed that I am not going to be able to spend my daughter's birthday with her, even though, they're at that age where mom coming along is not necessarily a good thing. But I'm disappointed about that. I'm disappointed that I'm not going to spend Christmas with my favorite aunt who lives in Taiwan. I'm disappointed that I'm going to put myself in a bad mood if I keep going. But this is the reality in the first half of the show. What is the things that you're disappointed about? I don't see any comments yet. I'm disappointed that the guy didn't turn out, or the girl didn't turn out, or your partner didn't turn out to be the everlasting love that you wanted. You're disappointed you didn't get that raise. You're disappointed that you didn't get that promotion. You're disappointed that you didn't get to see your loved one before they passed. You're disappointed that all of the dreams and desires that you had to become famous are not coming true. So disappointment is a huge downer on happiness. Disappointment, I think, will bring you down, especially if you don't acknowledge the disappointment. My dad used to say, hope for the best, but prepare for the worst, or hope for the best, but the reality is going to be a disappointment. And that's how he lived his life. And so I was raised to be anchored by, waiting for the other shoe to drop. And that impending or real disappointment definitely will erase or dampen or bring down any level of happiness that you might have. Now, I am not saying that you should pretend that you are not disappointed. That's probably one of the worst things that you could do is, and those of you who are tuned in from Agape, you know, spiritual bypass is definitely not a good way to go. To pretend that you're not human, to pretend that you don't have some human reactions and emotions that are important to feel because you're alive, that's not a solution. So kind of like pasting a smile on your face, or as Abraham Hicks will say, one of my other teachers, I love it. You know, you see you don't put a happy face sticker on your gas gauge so you don't see that when you have no more gas. Like, that's silly. That's the same thing, is to pretend that you're not disappointed. And the commercial that I'll give for this before we go on break is emotions are on a spectrum, and there are higher feeling emotions like exhilaration and excitement and let's see, is it Friday? It's not Friday, it's Monday, but you know, the big O, or hitting that G spot, that's a high emotion up here. And then the lower level emotions, sadness on steroids, depression, anger, resentment, envy, all of those are lower. And in an effort not to feel bad, I will say that those are usually seen as feeling bad about yourself or about someone else. When you cut off the bad and come up here and say, no, I'm not going to feel any of this, what happens is this also comes down. So emotions don't work like a normal door, open and close. You have emotions or not. Emotions, you are like this. If you like a dumbwaiter. I'm surprised waiters haven't said I don't like that expression or the description of a door. That's a dumbwaiter. But in the old days, certainly in the, I will say the 20s, they would send food and clothing up and down elevators in a dumbwaiter. And the dumbwaiter closes like this. So it's the best way I know of encouraging you to feel those lower emotions safely. You don't spew at people or act on anger, but you express your anger safely, like stomping in the stairwell. If you hear that in any company, you know I've worked there and consulted with them as a corporate psychologist, because that's one of the ways to release negative energy is you literally stomp, hear my feet, on the ground. You can put that person's face on the step if you'd like. That's for extreme cases of anger. So, you know, that I used to say screaming, but when you're screaming, you hurt your voice, and my voice is my livelihood. So silent screams are good. My daughters and I created this where you just, and you don't scream, but your face is contorted like a scream, biting your pillow, all ways in which to release the excess volume called negative energy. And it is important to do this because negative energy takes up more space than positive energy in your body. So expressing your disappointment, have an appointment to express your disappointment safely with yourself or with a vent partner. And I'm getting ahead of myself. I have to take a quick break for news, weather, traffic on my NBC News radio channel, KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind. So don't go away. We'll be right back. Remind me to talk about Vent Partner as a Happy 88 tool to help you stay happy 88% of the time, even with disappointment. So don't go away. We'll be right back. In two and two, as Chuck Woolery used to say, but I say peace in, peace out. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Well, she has been dubbed the Asian Oprah, and she just wants all of us to be happy.
Dr. Marissa, aka the Asian Oprah, says the most important thing you can choose is choosing to be happy.
You are tuned into my weekly talk radio TV show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa.
That's the idea for Dr. Marissa Pay's new book called 8 Ways to Be Happy.
Many of us say, I am my own worst critic. Nobody's harder on me than I am. And my response to that is, stop it! Why are you doing that to yourself? You have to be your biggest fan, because if you can't at the end of the day say, I did a good job, who is? We don't have to constantly be angry at the things that are wrong. Why don't we choose to be happy about things that are right? We have the choice. That's our muscle. And life is so amazing if we can see it.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And we're back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio Station, home to the Asian Oprah, and number one talk in the IE. Thank you very much. And streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, and of course my YouTube TV channel where you can watch and listen thanks to the cameras in the studio. And yeah, free subscribe. Give me the finger. This one, thumbs up, not the other one. And you'll get an alert every weekday morning for this show about hope and happiness. No gossip, no scandal, no K-words, no Kardashian talk, no politics, no tea talk, no anything that is, if it bleeds, it leads. It's not going to be here. You have plenty of places, actually everywhere else, to tune into the headlines. I take the last feel-good story that usually is in a news hour and stretch it out into an entire hour for the past 697 consecutive weeks. That's 13 and a half years for those of you who are math challenged like myself. But yeah, so I'm so glad you're here. It is Monday, Mental Health Matters Mondays. And before I forget to tell you, this is the Asian Oprah giveaway today. It is an audiobook copy of my number one best-selling, national bestseller, 8 Ways to Happiness from Wherever You Are. And you can get a signed copy actually from me this Saturday at J&L Jewelry in Long Beach, California, in person, since my international tour has been canceled, but I am locally accessible now for you. So if you're anywhere in the area, please come. 12 to 4, free champagne, 25% off all jewelry. And shout out to J&L Jewelry for hosting my local book signing. And I'll do readings at 1 and 2. So 12 to 4 this Saturday. But if you want a free audiobook copy, if you're from anywhere else in the world, just go to asianoprah.online and you will get access to my Happy 88 tribe. If you put in your email, you will be able to get the promo code today for the audiobook copy that is in my shop. So this is, let's see, if I go back and so see that little email that comes up as soon as you put in, yeah, then this is where I live online, and you can find out all of the things that I am available for you for. And yeah, if you go to the shop, actually, if you go, this is kind of cool. Some people, someone told me, oh, I didn't even know These are some people you may recognize: Jimmy Kimmel, Halle Berry, Stevie Wonder, John Travolta. So beautiful Dawn Wells, Layla Ali, my fabulous champ Quincy Jones. Yeah, all of that you can find on my website, agentoprah.online. And then most importantly for you, if you want to take me home with you, there's various, coaching, affordable coaching, happiness coaching, the book as well, the DVD for my moving meditation, Balanced Tai Chi Gong, my children's book. Some of these are free with donation to my nonprofit, 8 Ways to Happiness. There's music there, and that's kind of cool. That's happening soon. I'm going back into music and excited about that. So that is Asian Oprah giveaway for today, is the audio book of 8 Ways to Happiness. So what were we talking about? Disappointment and tools with which to process through disappointment in a healthy way without hurting anybody, including yourself, by burying disappointment. Because when you bury disappointment inside your body, it will affect not just your mental health, but your physical health as well. There's a 100% correlation with stress in your body and chronic illness, inflammation, heart disease, you name it. It is now not just a supposition or a theory. Mayo Clinic, Harvard Medical, they are all doing studies on stress and the impact on your health. It's certainly chronic disappointment or unprocessed disappointment is going to affect you, your mental health, and your physical health. So that's why the things you can do on your own: stomping, releasing, biting pillows. I took a plastic back to vinyl couch when I had to release some really, really deep disappointments about having a normal childhood or having a loving mom. I can bring myself back to that day, and the feeling of freedom after releasing that core amount of resentment and anger and hostility that I had and extreme disappointment was palpable. So I want that for you. Those deep ones you may want to do with somebody. The surface disappointment, like I really wanted to go to that party, like that's a surface disappointment. I really wanted it to be sunny this weekend. Surface disappointment. They're called quality problems. Doesn't mean you're not disappointed, but those you can go and you can use a vent partner. A vent partner is someone that you trust, that can, for a closed mouth friend, who you get 2 minutes to vent. Now, that's what a vent partner is. I have a vent partner. I have several vent partners, depending on what I'm venting on, who I can call and just say, don't need a solution, just need to vent. All right? That person's job is to remain non-suggestion oriented. They are not an advice giver. They are just a way with which they're just a sounding board with no sound, really, except to say, I'm so sorry. Or, oh, I wish that hadn't happened. And that's all they say. Okay? No, well, if you think it's that bad, if you think that's bad, let me tell you what happened to me. That is not a vent partner. That is a one-up partner. We don't want that. It's going to make you more piss off in this. You're going to be even more disappointed in that friend. So you choose your vent partner wisely, and you say, do you want to do this with me? It requires 2 minutes of your time. You put them on a timer. That's what the vent partner does. You have on your phone or whatever a 2-minute set. You hit start and you let them say whatever they need to say. Bad words, You have to make an agreement. Are you okay with bad words? I would suggest finding someone, because there's a lot more release when you use a bad word. I'm not advocating bad words, especially not on this station with FCC violations. But sometimes it's a very, the F word will get that negativity out. Now, I'm not saying that you should go all the time, but sometimes a few well-placed words will allow you to release that disappointment in a strong way, so you don't have to spend as long. You can cut it short. It may not even be 2 minutes. I've cut mine down to 16 seconds because I'm a believer in the law of attraction, and I don't want another negative thought to enter into me after 16 seconds. So mine's less, but start with 2 minutes. If you're a complainer, if you're a worry wart, if you know yourself and you have a habit of complaining about your disappointments, I'm going to ask you to do event partner and begin to take your disappointment, complaining about them, to 2 minutes. All right. And then that person gets to come back and do their 2 minutes when they need to. May not be right then. However, does not follow singular rollover rules. You cannot use 4 minutes the following day. You have to do the 2 minutes that day or you lose it. And if you lose it, that's fine. If you don't have anything to vent about, don't vent. However, most of us, if we don't vent, or we think we're above all that, or as George Costanza's father did on Seinfeld, that episode where serenity now, and every time he was disappointed, he would cover it up with serenity now until it bubbled up to the extent that he ruined he took it back to $1 million of computer equipment. So we don't want that. So if you have a vent partner once a day that you can just express your disappointment, it will go away. Because how do you get things to go away? This is a good question. If you keep talking about the same thing that pisses you off, it will not go away. That's the law of attraction. What you focus on will grow bigger. And that's why I'm known to say, if you don't like what you're looking at, quit looking at it. If you're not liking what happened, quit talking about it. But this is things that we can control. This is personal mastery. We're the boss of our mouth. We're the boss of our choices of where we're focusing. And yet we think there's something wrong with us when we keep thinking the same thing over and over. Well, heck, hello. Hello. You're doing that to yourself. You continue to bring negativity into your life by continuing the habit of focusing on it. That's why we start with the gratitude sandwich. That's why we don't start with talking about the news. That's all the news is old complaining about how bad people are and the bad things they do and the horrible things and tragedies that happen to everybody. Again, bad things happen. That's part of life. Why do bad things happen to good people? It has nothing to do whether you're good or bad. Bad things just happen. But great things happen too. There are more good things happening around you than bad things. But because you have a habit of focusing on the bad things, guess what? You're going to see more bad things. And the good news is the reverse is true. The more you focus on good things, the more good things you'll see. My life is a reflection of this particular discipline, of this good life habit. I am so adamant that I want to feel good, that every time I don't feel good, no spiritual bypass. I say, why am I not feeling good? Well, 100% of the time, I'm thinking about something that doesn't make me feel good. The blood clot, the world tour I can't go on. And that's my choice to think or keep talking about it. I talk about it on the show, not to keep bringing it up, but as to give you an example that my life is definitely not perfect. And I'm, I have beautiful things, but I have shiitake that happens too. But I will tell you about it. And then I choose to focus, because I've already done my venting. Thank you for the heart. I choose to focus on the good that is happening in my life. And there's so much good happening in my life. And guess what, folks? There's so much good stuff happening in your life too. Oh, but Dr. Marissa, you don't know what I'm going through. I probably have a good idea. It's either something to do with not enough money, or something to do with not enough love, or something to do with who done me wrong, or something to do with who disappointed me, or something to do with my health, or something to do with my relationship. I probably got you in that. I got at least 88% of y'all when you do that. And guess what, folks? That's not your life. That's not the totality of your life. Your physical diagnosis is not who you are. You have symptoms of depression. You are not a depressed person. Full stop. That is your identity. You're lonely. You have feelings of loneliness that will pass if you quit reveling in your loneliness. Well, they don't love me. Well, don't go to the tractor for milk. They're not capable of loving you, but there are people that are capable of loving you. So turn to them. Or maybe you need to work on yourself. Am I lovable? Like, I want this in a guy, right? I have to ask myself first, am I this, and this myself? I want a generous guy. Am I generous? Right? I want a funny guy. Am I funny? I want a successful guy. Am I successful? So this is also a self-improvement exercise, right? Are you disappointed in something you cannot control? This is a big one. People, okay. The war against drugs, the war against obesity, the war against starvation, the war against sexual predators, the war against, if you're pushing and fighting against something that you don't like, you're continuing to give that movement energy, right? When people talk about, I hate the, politics, whatever it is, whichever side you're on, you are giving the other side some energy. So if you want them to be less powerful, quit being angry and ranting about them. That energy, but Dr. Marissa, I have to do something. I can't just put my head in the sand. I never said put your head in the sand, although sometimes that is preferable. When things are that crazy around you, you might want to go have a moment with yourself. Put your head in the sand, not toilet bowl. Put your head in your own imaginary sand and breathe in through the nose and remember, right? You have money in your wallet, that you have food in the fridge, that you have a roof over your head, that you have a car, you can go anywhere, that you have the money for gas, that you have memories. Go to your phone. That's one of my Happy 88 tools, right? Turn on a dime of memories. Anytime I'm thinking about the tour and how much I'm losing, I go to my phone and I find some really great videos of experiences that I've had that make me smile, make me laugh. That is who I am. I am the sum total of all good things that have happened. Some bad things, but some good, mostly good things. And even the bad things chiseled me into the person I am now. So even the bad things were not bad. Hello. So focus, right? So work with the disappointment individually first. If that doesn't do it, go to vent partner, okay, which is going to do it, because the rule on venting is you cannot talk about that again. Let me say that again. When you have a vent partner and you spend 2 minutes ranting about something, You cannot talk about it again. You only can talk about it again if something new happens. And that, my friends, is a habit. If you can do this personal mastery habit of only expressing your disappointment once for 2 minutes and never again, when you don't think about it, it will slide away. You may get some trigger in the future, but it's not like constantly talking about it and complaining about it and how disappointed you are. 2 words. Just stop it. Now let's talk about desire in the last 2 minutes. Dr. Marissa, I want to talk about desire more. The reason why I wanted to leave out on desire is because desire is not a bad word. Thanks to the church and religion, humans' definition of, money's evil, desire and sex and exhilaration, the O word, G spot, whatever it is, all of that is evil. That is not true. That's a BS, a belief system that will keep you in a mediocre life. And I don't want anybody to have a mediocre life. Life is about fully expressing and feeling what it is to be human in all of its wonder and grandeur. Also knowing you're a spiritual being, having a human experience. But while you're on this earth, on this planet as a human being, Lord knows, let's just feel good most of the time. Let's be happy 88% of the time. And desire is a beautiful way to set an intention for something. And when you have an experience of something you don't want, Abraham Hicks sets a desire rocket. I'll never forget the first time I heard them at a Revelation conference that we were putting on at Agape. And when she said that, when Esther said, whenever you know what you don't want, disappointment, you know what you do want, desire. So when you meet someone that's mean to you, you set off a rocket of desire to want to have people around you that are nice to you. That's normal. What we do to shoot ourselves in the foot is we continue to look at the person who was mean and complain and try to change them into a person that will be nice to you. And it's not possible. You don't have the control. And they're, you probably attracted them because you didn't work through some of the stuff that says I'm only worthy of people who are not nice to me. And that's on you, boo. We can stop attracting people like that by saying, I'm not going to go to the tractor for milk. I have a desire for nicer people, so I'm going to turn my attention away from that person who's being, knowing that I set off the rocket of desire, and then go on my way, not looking necessarily for nice people, because that energy too is a yearning, and it just highlights the fact that you don't have nice people around you. But just go on about your day and look for things to appreciate. That's Abraham Hicks. Okay, we've already set off the desire for nicer people, right? The universe is conspiring for you, never against you, has a plethora of nice people around. Your only job is to feel good. Your only job is to say, what am I having the best feeling thought I can right now? Do I feel good right now? If I don't feel good, let me see what I'm focused on and shift the focus. I don't have to worry about my desire. All of my desires are met. I just have to stay in that best possible place. And I can't believe I myself have run myself out of time. I hope that you come back tomorrow. I have great Doors of Change folks coming tomorrow. In the meantime, it's all about balance. Peace in, peace out. World peace through, inner peace. Hope you have enjoyed this, I wouldn't say lecture, this talk on the double D. Desire and disappointment. You can always find this on my YouTube TV channel. Free subscribe. We'll see you tomorrow. Now go and have the best day ever.